Hey everybody, this is Reusable, a React developer with 5 years of experience, and today I want to share with you a text component that I currently use at Increaser.org. I saw a bunch of different approaches how to make text at different companies, and recently I decided to refactor the code at Increaser and make a simple to use text component. And it's very small, it's not complicated, and you may find it useful and worth implementing in your own project. So let's check it out. Every text at Increaser.org built on single component. So you can see it here, headline, here's blogs describing features, and of course in the app itself, it is the same situation, it is the same text component. Now let's jump to the code and see how it's done. So at Increaser I use TypeScript and styled components, and the text component is just a styled component with a bunch of props. Let's take a look at props themselves. So the first one is color, and there's only 5 colors. We'll look into them in more detail, but here we have a regular text, then a supporting text is like this gray color that's not that important, primary text that used for text that is usually clickable, as an alert could be in error message and stuff like that, and there is also a reversed color. So for example, if the background is dark and text is white, in this case text would be dark, and it's usually used on light backgrounds in some situation like text and stuff like that. Colors in themselves are a really interesting subject, and worth creating a separate video about it. Briefly, we have HSLA type, there is array of 4 numbers corresponding hue, saturation, lightness, and alpha. And then we can use this type to modify colors. That's the main idea. And here we use those existing colors but give them a proper names, because we will use them in the context of texts. So it's better to name, for example, reverse and background dark. Back to the property itself. Color is k of type of text colors. What does this mean? It means that we pass color this way. And if we try to type here something like secondary, it will tell us no, it's not supported. We can only use predefined types. And during development, it's super easy because like, okay, what is the color? And we have like, oh, here's 5 options. So it's really comfortable to use. Okay, so we receive this array, and how do we convert it into the color? For this, we have a simple helper called color to CSS value. It receives this array, HSLA type, and create a CSS value that we could use. Okay, that's clear. Color is simple. Next is weight. It is of type text weight, and here we have regular, semi-bold, and bold. Underneath we have a record of text weight and number. And when we receive a weight, we convert it to a proper CSS value. Okay. The next one is size. So it's a bit controversial. We use rems here, but we pass a number. Why is it so? Before that, I had a names for text. So it would be medium for 16 pixels, then like large for 18, and then extra large, extra large, extra large. And after like large and extra large, it's just like hard to think about it. So I come up to the approach where text could be any text with a factor of 2. So 12, 14, 16, 18, and so forth. But still we assume that it is equal, one rem is equal to 16 pixels, and then we convert this number to rem. And that's an idea. And for example, here in total time we have size of 18. Next one is height, and it corresponds to line height. There is 2 options, regular and large. So regular used for everything with a standalone text, and large for any block of text so it's more readable. And yeah, that's an easy one. And the last one is centered. We use it to have text aligned center because it's pretty common use case, so I added this property here. It is very versatile component. You can create a bunch of different text with it, but don't use it recklessly, otherwise it will lead to inconsistent UI. So what would be the next approach with having this text component? You can create different text on top of it. For example, here we have a highlighted text that simply specifies default props, and then we can use it when we have like a text. If we want to highlight some part, we just like use this highlighted text, right? So here we have like ones for emojis that also builds up on top of text but has only one parameter, and there's also one for page title I have here. So we can extend on top of it. Another approach that I saw at one of the companies and that is really interesting is that when you have a design system, for example in Figma, and there are a strict number of types of text, you can then just have this as a rule, and when you develop you just have like this text and you type text kind and the name of text from Figma or other design tool, and on the front end you would have text components that will have a specific set of styles for every text kind. That's a different approach. It will work when you have very strict design system, but in Increaser I don't have it. So for me this approach works better. So let me know what you think. Have a good day, stay productive.